In electromagnetism, we are going to do a very interesting experiment. That experiment was performed by Oersted, the name of a scientist, and this experiment was performed in 1820. Okay, that's quite some time back, and this experiment, gave a relation between the electric field and the magnetic field. So, what we are going to see in this particular experiment is okay, a very simple, small experiment. I will show you. Just a minute. Okay. So have a look at this, what's happening. So what happens over here is this compass needle that you see, this compass needle is pointing in the north-south direction. And I want you to pay attention to this particular part, okay, of this video, where what is happening is the person over there is touching the wire, other end of the wire to one of the end over here. So, and whenever he is touching it, there is deflection happening. Okay, so this is a very simple experiment that you allow the current to flow, and whenever you allow the current to flow, there is a deflection in the needle. So the setup of this experiment is simple. You have a compass needle over here, and that compass needle always points in the north-south direction. So, if this is the north direction, so the needle is always pointing in the north-south direction. And on top of the needle, there is the wire. Okay. Everyone knows that the needle points in the north-south direction because of Earth's magnetic field. The Earth has its own magnetic field. So the needle is pointing in the direction of the Earth magnetic field, that is north and south. Okay. Now, what was observed in that particular experiment was the moment you allow current to flow in the wire, the needle was showing deflection. Okay, so the needle was deflecting in one particular direction. Okay, so I would like to ask you a question, that what can make the needle deflect? Okay, if anyone would like to answer that question, what will make the needle deflect? Anyone would like to answer that? Okay. So this is a compass needle which is pointing in the north-south direction because of Earth's magnetic field. So if there is any other magnetic field around it, that magnetic field can influence this needle and it will deflect the needle. So when you saw that the needle is deflecting this way, okay, and if I copy the same thing and place it over here, and so what will I do now? Say for example, the if you change the direction of current, like if you allow the current now to flow in the opposite direction, okay, so this is the north, and the needle is deflecting this way. So the needle's deflection changes. So the needle is deflecting in the other direction. Okay. If you repeat this experiment right in the way it is, that the current is moving to the right side. But if you take the compass needle on top, if you place the needle on top, you will see that the deflection is happening in the opposite direction. So here again, if you repeat it and change the direction of the current, okay, so the current direction is reversed, then the deflection will also be different, right? Okay, so there are the following things that we have noticed over here. Number one, that the needle is getting deflected. So that is beyond doubt that there is some another magnetic field that is deflecting the needle. Are you understanding that? Okay. So the following question arises is what is making the needle deflect? So that is a magnetic field that is influencing. But there is no other source of magnetic field. It's only the Earth's magnetic field that is in the north-south direction. So the other magnetic field that is possibly because of this wire, that is the current flowing in the wire. Okay. So therefore, what we have over here is the current that is flowing in the wire and the needle is deflecting. And what we see that the current that is flowing in the wire is producing a magnetic field around it. Okay. Now this phenomena, okay, which Oersted discovered is called as the magnetic effect of electric current. Okay, that is called as the magnetic effect of electric current. Fine. So what we have seen in this particular topic is that you allow the current to flow in the wire and the magnetic field is created and the magnetic field deflects the needle. So this is the very basic but very important idea. Okay. Now, of course, if you have a thought that how do we identify what direction the current, what direction the needle is deflecting? So to answer that question, we have a simple rule, and I'll be writing down that rule over here. Now, this is the rule that determines the direction of current, and that is called as Ampere swimming rule. Okay, so the Ampere swimming rule goes by this particular logic. Okay, I want you to observe the diagram very carefully. And in that diagram, we will notice few things which I'll write it down here. Just a minute. Okay, so you can see that this is the Ampere swimming rule. So number one, imagine that you are swimming in the direction of the current. Okay, so if the current is flowing from left to right, imagine you're swimming left to right. Second thing is you should be facing the needle. So in this particular case, the way you normally swim, okay, with your head down and moving your hands. So you're looking at the needle which is placed down. So where is your left hand? So that is the point where the north will get deflected. Okay, the north of this needle will get deflected here. So if this is a person who is swimming, so this is his left hand. So that is where the north will get deflected. So when the needle is placed above the wire, so you have to swim facing upwards. Okay, you have to face up. That's the way you have backstrokes. So this is how you determine the direction of the deflection, right? So then comes the next important question is what is the nature of the magnetic field? Okay, so what will be the direction of the magnetic field and how to know the strength of the magnetic field? Okay, so normally students do ask these questions that how to know the nature of the magnetic field. Now, when you talk about nature of the magnetic field, again, there are a few things that come to mind is when we study magnetic field because of a, because of a bar magnet. So we have this iron filings experiment that we do. In the iron filings experiment, there is a bar magnet placed and you sprinkle iron filings over it and you get a particular pattern. Okay, so the pattern that you get normally for a bar magnet, I'll show that as well to you right now. It is something which is like this. Okay, this is how the nature of the magnetic field is. But this is for a bar magnet. Here we have a current carrying wire and there is a magnetic field around it. So what will be the nature of that magnetic field? So for that, what we do is we take a cardboard, and for the cardboard, we allow the wire to pass through the cardboard. And then what we will do is we will, sprinkle iron filings. So I'll show you what it will look like. Okay, just a minute. So what experimental setup will be something like this. Okay, so as you can see that on the right side, it is little zoomed out. So you have a power source which is over here, and this particular power source is allowing current to flow, and that current, there is this wire. Okay, now this wire current is flowing, and this is a cardboard over here, and we have sprinkled iron filings. So there is a magnetic field that is created around this wire, and this magnetic field is circular in nature. So you can see that there are these concentric circles that are formed, and these concentric circles that are formed are such that the center of the circle lies on the wire. The center of the circle lies on the wire. Okay. So this is what is the nature of the magnetic field. So any questions so far? Okay. So the magnetic field, this answers the question, what is the nature of the magnetic field? So the nature of the magnetic field is in the form of concentric circles, with the center of the circles being at the wire which is carrying the current. Another important fact is that this magnetic field is all around. Okay, it's not only on the cardboard, but it is throughout the length of the wire. Okay, so it is at all points like this. So the magnetic field is throughout the wire. Then to answer the next question, what is the direction of the field? So when we have a circular kind of a magnetic field, we are left with only two choices. So the magnetic field can be this way, or the magnetic field can be this way. So how to determine the direction? So there is a rule for that, and I am going to show you that rule. Okay, for the magnetic field, just a minute. So this particular rule is called as the right hand thumb rule. Now the right hand thumb rule is explained as following. Just a minute. Okay, so this is the right hand thumb rule. Now what does this rule tell you? That if you have a current carrying wire, and then you imagine that you're holding the wire in your right hand. So the right hand, like this, it is shown in the picture, where the thumb is pointing in the direction of the current. Okay, and the curled fingers will tell you the direction of the magnetic field. So as you can see that the fingers are curled in that direction, so you can see that the direction of the magnetic field is this way. Okay. Another way to express the same rule is the corkscrew rule. So the corkscrew rule tells you that imagine that the current is flowing down, then how will you rotate the screw such that the screw will go in the direction of the current? Okay, a screw, or you can imagine a bottle cap as well. So you're turning it, you're rotating it. And as you are rotating it, like this way, the way shown in the image, the screw will go down. If you imagine to turn it the opposite way, the screw will go up. So the direction in which you have to turn the screw such that the screw goes in the direction of the current. So the direction of the rotation is the direction of the magnetic field. Okay, this is a very important thing for you to remember. Whenever the magnetic field for the wire in the form of a loop is there, the magnetic field is determined by what is called as the right hand thumb rule. Okay. Okay, so the magnetic field field lines that are created over here, those magnetic field lines are in the form of concentric circles. Okay. So remember one thing, these are concentric circles. The common mistake that students do while drawing is they draw something like this. Okay. So this is wrong. This is a spiral where these are concentric circles. Okay. There is a difference between the two. So concentric circles are to be drawn, and the concentric circles are such that this plane is perpendicular to the wire. Okay, so the plane on which the circles are drawn, these circles are perpendicular to the plane, perpendicular to the wire carrying the current. Okay. Of course, if you reverse the direction of current, that means, say for example, here the direction of magnetic field is this way, and the current is flowing upwards. So if you reverse the direction of current, the direction of magnetic field also changes. Okay, so the deflection will be changed. Okay, we had a question over here, how to know the strength of the magnetic field. Okay, so that was the third part of the question. So it is noticed that if you allow more current to flow, then it will create a stronger magnetic field. Now, how do we know that the magnetic field is stronger? These particular ion filings, which are forming the circle, they form lines which are more closer, more denser. Okay, so that indicates if there are more concentric circle, denser, closer to the wire, that indicate that this is stronger. And as you move away from the wire, the strength will be less. Okay, so this is the magnetic field of a current carrying wire. Okay. Now, an interesting thing I would like you to imagine, like I told you, this particular wire is there. Okay, will have magnetic field all around it. And this is a straight current carrying wire. Imagine if this wire is bent. It is bent to form a loop. Then what will be the nature of the magnetic field? Okay, if this wire is bent, so this wire has magnetic field all around it in a form of circle. And if that wire is now bent to form a loop, what will be the nature of the magnetic field? Okay, so I hope that's an interesting question to make you think a little, that how will the magnetic field change? So what I'm going to do is I'll show you an image that will help you understand. So the way I have shown you the ion filing sprinkled over there to form a magnetic field, to find the nature of the magnetic field will show similar ion filings. Okay, so the nature of that magnetic field will be something like this. Just a minute. Right. Okay, so this is how the nature of the magnetic field will be. So you can see that instead of a straight wire, we have a loop. Okay, so we have a current carrying loop over here. The current is flowing in this. And in this current carrying loop, you have the ion filings. So where the ion filings are placed, they arrange themselves in this loop. Okay, so they are again forming a loop. Only thing is that in between over here, the lines are almost straight. Okay, so you have studied this in 9th standard, where the magnetic field lines are parallel to each other. This particular area is said to have uniform magnetic field. Okay, this area has uniform magnetic field. So this is what you all need to understand, that if you look at this portion, the magnetic field lines are parallel to each other. Closer to the loop, of course, they are forming concentric circles. Okay, a little easier diagram I'll show you. This particular diagram is a picture taken of the experiment, and something which is little easier to follow. So that particular diagram will be something like this. Just a minute. Okay, so you can see that this is the diagram. So you have the cardboard and you have the magnetic field lines which are forming concentric circles, and the lines which are in between over here are kind of parallel. Okay, so if you hold this portion in your right hand, so your thumb is pointing up and your fingers are curled like this. So you can see that the arrows match that particular thing. Again, on this particular part where your thumb is pointing down and your fingers are curled like this, so you can again, you have to use your right hand. So your thumb is pointing down and your fingers are curled this way. So that also explains the direction. Okay. What I want you to notice over here is that the direction of the magnet current in the loop is like this. And if you see the direction of the magnetic field lines going inside the loop, okay, inside, and on the other side, they are coming out. So if you are looking at the loop from the other side, you will feel that the lines are coming out. But if you are looking at the loop from this side, you will see that the lines are entering inside. Another fascinating thing is that on a paper, if you draw a circle on a paper, if you draw a circle, and if you draw these lines, so when you see it from this side, okay, you will see it this way. What is that? This is called as clockwise. But if you see the same thing from the other side, okay, if you hold the paper with, there is some light around, and you will notice that the direction is anti-clockwise. Okay, so one face of this loop which behaves like it is clockwise current, the opposite face behaves where it is anti-clockwise current. And for that, we have one particular notion. Okay, so this is also another important thing for you to remember. Let me show you an image over here. Okay, so this is the image. So this part of the loop where the current is going anti-clockwise, okay, there you will see that the magnetic field lines are coming out from there. And the one which is clockwise, the magnetic field lines are entering over there or ending over there. And this is what we have normally used even then. So they start on the north and they end on the south. So they start on the north and end on the south. So for the same loop, okay, so if I draw the loop something like this, so where the loop lines are entering and exiting, so if they enter, that means this particular face is south, and if they exit, then this particular face is north. Okay, this is again an important thing for you to identify. Fine. So again, to revisit this particular loop, so point to note, in the vicinity of the wire, the magnetic field lines are circular. Okay, so in the vicinity of the wire, that means over here we are seeing that the magnetic field lines are circular. The second point is within the space enclosed by the wire, the magnetic field are in the same direction. So this space that is enclosed by the wire, the magnetic field is in the same direction. Okay, the third point is at the center, along the axis, it is normal. The magnetic field lines are normal. Normal means perpendicular. So if you see, this is the loop, okay, and these lines are perpendicular to the loop. So if you take the loop as something like this, then the field lines which are entering and exiting are perpendicular. Okay. The next point is the magnetic field lines become denser if you increase the strength of the current. So if the current is increased, and second is the number of turns. Okay, as you must have noticed, in this particular diagram, there is a single loop, and here there are more number of turns. Again, a word of caution. Again, it is important. The diagram that I have drawn over here, we say that there are more number of turns. And we don't say that there are more number of loops. We don't say this, okay? So we don't say there are more loops. What do we say? We say that there are more number of turns. So this is important to follow that. Okay. Now what we are going to study is another important part, which is called as a solenoid. So now you have seen this particular number of turns, but if those number of turns are arranged in a following way, I'll show you that diagram, then it is called as a solenoid. So how does a solenoid look like? One second. Okay, so this is how a solenoid looks like. So you have the same thing, you have one turn. So instead of taking one turn, you can take more number of turns. So the current that is entering over here and coming out over there is flowing through those many turns. So this is the current that is entering. So that current is flowing like this. Okay, observe the diagram carefully. Okay, so when you have a loop like this, and say the current is flowing like this, so this is the direction of the magnetic field. Now, if you have the loop, again, another loop over there, then the field lines, rather than making a turn like this, will continue. Okay, so that is what is happening in a solenoid. So you can see the black lines over there are the lines of magnetic field. So the magnetic field is uniform over here. So this is a uniform magnetic field. Fine. So what I want you to learn today is something that will help you in solving a lot of questions. So I'm going to draw the turns like this. So this is the turn. Okay. And this is A and B. Okay, the end A and B. And look at the direction of current. So the current is flowing in this direction. Fine. Now what I want you to do is to take your right hand. So this is the right hand. Now this is your thumb. Okay. And when you curl the fingers, you curl the fingers such that it is in the direction of this current. And your thumb points to the A direction. Are you following that? Your thumb is pointing towards A, right? So what will be the nature of, what will A be? Whether A will be north or whether A will be south is a question. So again, showing you this thing. So if the current is anti-clockwise, then it is north. If the current is clockwise, like this, then it is south. So over here, you have your thumb pointing to the right. Therefore, A will be north. Okay, A will be north. And B will be south. So this is very important for you to understand, because you will get questions where you will be deciding the direction of you will be deciding the polarities. Okay, now let me draw a similar diagram. Yes.
So anti-clockwise is north, right?
Anti-clockwise is north. So if you see it from this side, you will see this circle. And in that circle, right side, the current is going up. And on the left side, the current will be going down. So that face is north and the other face is south. Okay. And, yes. And now if you see, it is the same thing with a change. If you notice now, okay, the current is flowing downwards over there. It's still going up from here and going down from there. But the way that it is coiled, it is different. So this time, you have to hold your right hand like this. Okay, this time the palm is facing towards you. Okay, this time, here it was the back of your hand. Right? So here is the palm facing towards you. And then you curl your fingers such that they are in the direction of this current. And your thumb is to the right side. Your thumb is to the right over here. Okay. So therefore, this will be north and this will be south. So this is very important for you to understand the direction of the magnetic field. Okay. How to determine the polarity of the magnetic field. Fine. So these are few things that you need to understand. The direction of the magnetic field is decided by which rule. How do you determine which end is north, which end is south? Those are very important. Okay. Now, to end, we will do some very simple things. So students, this is a solenoid. And when you allow current to flow through the solenoid, it creates a magnetic field. And in that magnetic field, if you insert a metal like iron rod, okay, say for example, if this is an iron rod, now that iron rod will get magnetized and it will start behaving like a magnet. Now, such a magnet is called as an electromagnet. Okay, this is called as what? Electromagnet. So if you have an iron rod and you wrap a current carrying wire around it, so the iron rod will be placed in the magnetic field of this, and this will become magnet. It is called as a electromagnet. Okay. Now, if I change the direction of current, then what will happen? The polarities of this magnet will change. Like in this particular case, this is south and this is north. So if you change the direction of current, so if the current which was flowing up is now flowing down, then this will become north and this will become south. So you can change the polarities of the current. Okay. Then say for example, here there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 loops are there. Okay. 5 loops are there, or number of turns are there. Sorry, my mistake, number of turns. Now, if you increase the number of turns, or if you increase the current flowing, then what you will do? You increase the strength of this magnet. So to increase the strength of the electromagnet, you can increase the number of turns of the wire, or you increase the current in the wire. You can also, when you turn off the current, it will stop being a magnet. So these are some of the properties which a electromagnet possess, which a permanent magnet do not possess. A permanent magnet, you cannot change the polarities. You cannot change the strength of the magnet. But an electromagnet, you can still do that. Okay. But there are certain things which are similar, right? Like if you suspend a permanent magnet, it will point in the north-south direction. If you suspend an electromagnet, it will also point in the north-south direction. If you bring, magnetic substances near a permanent magnet, they will get attracted to it. And so they will get attracted toward the electromagnet as well. Okay.